Nord.
Yes?
Have you ever played ROM hacks?
I have.
You ever played like the ones that give funny titles?
No, I've played the ones that take themselves really seriously with their titles.
Just in general, have you played the one where it's like Pokemon and they die and like they throw the Medicham into the volcano?
Is that a real one?
Yes. I've seen a gif of it. Like a sacrifice.
What?
Well, this fucking intro bit has gone off the rails.
If you want to do it, spnanon, if you want to do a bit, just tell me what I need to say.
It doesn't matter what you say. I was just waiting for your response, and then I was gonna do my thing. Keep Solitaire. Keep all this in. Keep all of it in. So. I know of a ROM hack called Super Mario 74, for instance, and this is Super SPNatI 65, baby. The Strip Poker Night of the Inventory podcast, episode 65, fresh off of 64, with returning co-host Nord, because we're still collecting the power stars. We had to save the mask from the painting from Bowser in the sky, And speaking of Bowser, here's Gay Bowser himself, little gay boy 45, also known as Cali.
Thank you.
As our returning guest.
I love this name because people always at Caliber, and then it's like, no, you have to type little gay boy 45.
Well, before that, it was Ignat's sucking.
Ignat's sucking 2018.
because of that, I kept on Freudian slip calling you Ignatz.
So I think like one person still does.
Okay, so we're coming to you live with this pre-recorded podcast, talking about the testing roster additions that happened basically a few months ago because we're always delayed. But we talked about the main roster additions last time, and now we got some fresh new testing roster projects for you. And speaking of projects, we're going to start off hot with the idol project, the Vocaloid project. We've already had a Hatsune Miku for a while, courtesy of Tweetsy, who's been on the podcast before. But now we have the second Vocaloid to ever been made, I think. The second one here is Kagamine Rin, who's like apparently like a dual character in like Vocaloid. She's like there's like a female version that this is, and then there's like Len that's a male one, but they're like the same character, I think.
Cali is luckily an expert in Vocaloid and can go into more detail.
Are you?
But
that's news to me. Good. Please elaborate.
So what happens is, Vocaloids that get sold, and so Rin and Len, their voices are male and female, and they're meant to complement each other. So they get sold as one. So you buy the disc and you get both of them. Their dynamic changes depending on the song, but they're like, most people just see them as twins.
Okay. This isn't like a dual character or anything. This is just
no, I wouldn't say so.
This is just a female one in SPNatI, Kagamine Rin. Although very confusingly, folder name is Rin Kagamine. So first name first, and but Hatsune Miku folder name is Hatsune Miku. Figure that out. That pisses the shit out of Hex, the tag master, because he's arguing for consistency. Well, how's that for inconsistency? Now we have fucking Hatsune Miku and Rin Kagamine. He fucking insists. I've never heard anyone in my goddamn life call her fucking Miku Hatsune, but he would fucking insist that that's how you're supposed to do it. Anyway, Callie, why don't you tell us more about Kagamine Rin and her many alt costumes?
Me?
Yeah, go ahead. Start us off. What do you think of her in SPNatI?
So
this character's currently dead, but she didn't get updates in time. So I'm sure that the developers plan on bringing her back, but she is currently playing second fiddle to Hatsune Miku offline as usual.
Len usually dies in the song, so it got reversed. But Rin used to be my favorite Vocaloid, so I have a lot of thoughts. I think Rin
Used to be?
Kagamine. Then I learned about the nerdy boy Vocaloid, and he became my favorite. So it was like clockwork. But anyways, Rin, as a character, I think Vocaloids in general are very difficult to make because they're very popular. So a lot of people are going to be looking at your character, but they also don't have that canon like lore you can pull from. Your best bet is to go to like popular songs, but even then you'll have a song like a popular Rin song where she's a serial killer, and then the other one where she's just like, I love you so much, and then dances around. So you really, it's difficult, I think, for any Vocaloid to have a characterization and to figure one out. But Rin, I think she's mainly categorized by like that cutesy, like bouncy, peppy stuff. While like Miku is a little more like, I don't want to say basic, but like she's like a female. She's like a normal female idol. While Rin is like jumping around on stage, stuff like that. And with Rin Kagamine in SPNatI, I think you definitely, what I'm very thankful for is you clearly took a lot of interpretation from fans, and like not only like recent or not only old fans. It's very clear that like you understand how people view Rin. But also I think it's difficult because there's different groups of how people view her. So you have Rin, who it's very cutesy, very peppy, but then she'll also have lines where she's very like angry and kind of grouchy for a while, and then those lines will kind of like go back to generics where she's like, yay, do you want me to sing for you? And it's a little difficult, I think, because you usually don't see those like go together. I think she has her personality in her writing. She definitely stands out at a table, which is very good because it's difficult, I think, to have a mascot idol, because that's what Vocaloids are. They're mainly just mascots for what they sing, and have them be very present in the game and have them be very present for everyone around them. But something with Rin that I'd really like to see is I think she needs to more like buckle down on one interpretation rather than kind of dipping into multiple, because they end up conflicting with each other, and it makes it difficult because she's no longer as cutesy, because in an earlier line she was very grouchy, where she was like yelling at someone or complaining. The other way around, where you get this idea of like, okay, she's a little bit jealous of Miku. She acts this way. She wants the attention, and then she'll be like very sweet. And then it comes off like, well, you've seen both of these and you think that she's faking it or something. They end up not mixing well, I think. And I think that's my main criticism would be that she should focus on one of the interpretations that she has and like really go with that, which isn't to say like you can't have moments, but you have generics mixing constantly, and it just gets a little bit hot and cold with her. I mean, the artwork is fantastic. I'm very glad that her like default is her adult design. But with like posing and artwork, I think she's very expressive and very herself. So I don't really have complaints for the artwork.
Oh yeah. What's the deal with their different designs? Because the normal one is like long hair, and then she's got an alt skin that's apparently like the classic design with short hair.
So the adult one, Rin's like 14, and
God
so that's
damn
like
it!
her original is the short hair. And then they have like an official.
But that's the one I like. God damn it! Now I'm gonna get canceled.
Official. What is the long hair? So That's the main thing because it's her adult design.
What adults can't have short hair?
She, when you look at her, she's so popular. I guess, kind of associate it. It could just be me. I don't know, but I like it.
Is that like a Japanese trope where like the young peppy girl has short hair and then like the refined woman, she's like grown her hair out. She's done like the
I would
Yamato
say
Nade
so,
Chico.
but like the other
Is that a thing?
Vocaloid Maiko, who's like really mature, she has super short hair. So like, no, I don't know.
Is that like a mark of like character growth and maturity or what?
I don't know. It's just what they did, to be honest. I want to give like props. I really like her Fear Garden outfit and dialogue because that was the first Vocaloid song I ever listened to. So I really was happy to see it. I think it was a good choice, and you did good on it for Halloween. I really enjoyed that costume. That's kind of my main thing.
It actually jump scares you if you have that selected on Halloween.
I was confused when that happened.
Nord, what did you think of Kagamine Rin in her many forms?
Overall, her art, really good. Posing, really good. Has a lot of nice, subtle details. And would actually probably be one of the examples I'd use for, like, posing that's quite good for like, using to learn for anyone who's new to, making their own art. The stripping poses, excellent. The forfeit with a pillow, excellent. Nice touch. Something new and interesting without being
humping the pillow.
new and interesting without being a gimmick that makes you want to claw your eyes out, like some people have attempted, such as lightsaber. Yeah, I went there.
To be fair, it was the hilt of the lightsaber, although I think it was blade up.
Oh god.
That's a big. Oh my god.
You would not believe just the brain rot that overtakes new devs when they try to how should my character masturbate? Should they use their hands like a fucking normal person? No, they have to use whatever implement is immediately available to them. Whatever they normally hold in their hands, just fucking shove it in the nearest orifice.
Cali put this a lot better than I was going to, but I would say what came to mind with me was her being tsundere when she wasn't meant to be, at least going by the fact that she wasn't ever tagged as one. She has a lot of that flip-flopping between states of cheery, peppy girl versus I'm gonna kill you because I'm so mad that you took off an accessory girl. And I think when she returns to testing, that's something you'd want to try and iron out. If you want her to be able to go between two emotional extremes, we have advanced marker usage in modern SPNatI. So you could definitely make that something that's more under your control, but relying on just dialogue, general dialogue and the conditions of that, relying on that too much to keep a balance can mean your character starts to look a little bit neurotic.
Yeah, I put that in the writing guide. You have to be beware of mood swings. And you have to kind of decide how your character feels about something in a certain context and make sure you stick to it relatively consistently. Or they can really switch emotions on the fly. Because you could have an angry removing accessory line, and then a more positive take on it, and then do that in the next case as well. The removed accessory. Now there's 4 different possibilities as far as what their emotional state is and becomes. I mean, if you got a line or an emotion or whatever, just put it where it belongs. Don't try to fit them all into one case.
Yeah, you want to be aware of what your character's resting emotion is. So if a character comes to the game annoyed, yeah, obviously their base emotion is going to be mild annoyance, and then they can get slightly less annoyed for one case or even more annoyed for another case, and then go back to their like default level of annoyance. With Rin, it's sort of a case of she goes too far between extremes at the drop of a hat because of how her dialogue was set out. So that's definitely something I would want to see improved upon when she returns. She had good dialogue. She had good dialogue in there. It's just that it was flipping too much.
Yeah, I write a lot of like variations on lines, you know, in generics and in targets, but you really have to make sure that they're all of equal quality and that they all serve the purpose that they're going to. Like, you know, you could write a million lines for you know, human penis reveal, but like you better make sure that they're all really good. And that your character is expressing the most important emotion that you want them to have in that moment, because if they have a whole bunch of different emotions, well, the player could be playing with them for the first time and they're waiting for that moment, and whatever line they get is, as far as they know, that's all they're going to get. That's what they know about them. That was your big moment. So you got to make it count no matter what. You got to make sure they're all good and they all fit together in the picture. Some other things. I'm sorry. I like the 14-year-old design the best. It's not because she's 14. It's because she has short hair, and I think that's cute. Don't cancel me. Don't cancel the SPNatI Podcast.
It's the iconic one.
I always thought Hatsune Miku's portrayal in SPNatI was weird and kind of offbeat. Like I was never quite sure what Tweetsy was going for with her, because she's not like really a character. I don't know anything about Vocaloid, but it kind of seems like they just take on the personality of whatever song they're singing. You know, whatever they need to be. Is that right?
Yeah, but like you have like people make like fan-made, they're called Vocaloid dramas, where you'll have like the Vocaloids aren't singing, they're just like hanging out and they talk. I think there's stuff you can pull from, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's fine, and that's perfectly valid content. A lot of games or a lot of franchises kind of rely on fan content like Toho does. But Hatsune Miku always seemed like it was weird, because she spoke about like being a person, but sometimes she also had lines about how she's like a digital being, and it's like, is this like a physical thing, or are you like a hologram, or like what's going on here? What is the context of her appearance in SPNatI? So I think I'd say, like, before you return, like, take some time to really, like, I think it's worth really hammering out with Tweetsy, like, and like keeping the whole Vocaloid portrayal consistent across both of them, so we get a little bit of a stronger idea of like what exactly are they like physically there, what's going on. I remember fucking Alpha. Does anyone remember Alpha from Crush when she was in the game? She was the 99th character, one before Maya's addition to the main roster in like February 2018, and she's like the Crush. She's like the parody of Vocaloids, right? And she was like a virtual hologram idol, and then for her forfeit, right? She's been virtual the entire game. For her forfeit, she sticks like a USB drive up her snatch, and that makes her a real person with a real body.
What?
Okay,
Yes.
I believe
It
you.
becomes real?
Yeah, Alpha real.
I am going to believe you and leave it at that.
If you searching through offline is a pilgrimage that every dev needs to make at some point, just so you understand what life was like and what our influences were back in the day. That was a main roster character. She never placed very high, but she was there. You had to react to that.
She just becomes a real woman.
I mean, it's
Was
that
it imported into her
simple.
skin cells?
It's that simple. It's just you want to be a real woman. Just grab that USB drive and then just plug it into your cervix.
Oh
I
god.
don't
My
know.
next guy's gonna do that. He's gonna plug a USB into him, come real.
Oh god. Every time I like look at offline files for any length of time, I inevitably come across a character I have never consciously noticed before, and it always throws me for a loop. It's like, wait,
like Toy Chica?
I am unfortunately aware of her existence. But like
Stripping off her exoskeleton?
But like we had another Buffy character at some point.
Yeah, Willow. I don't think she was ever online. I think she's just incomplete.
Mm.
Willow. Yeah, you thought Buffy and Xander were obscure. Fucking Xander used to be on the main roster. Willow never got that far. Fuck, I can't find pictures. Where's Alpha? Where is she? There she is. Oh, she used to
Insanity.
She used to have like alt skins, but not alt skins, just poses. Like costumes of the other characters.
Before I forget, when I play with Rin, she talks a lot about like not wearing a bra, and then she's wearing a bra. I don't understand. I guess like bluffing. I meant to say that earlier. I'm sorry, I forgot. And then we talked about Alpha becoming a real woman, but I don't fully understand those lines. I don't think if it's like a cheeky thing. I think it could be better done. That sounds rude. Sorry.
Maybe she's trying to be cutesy, like I'm not wearing a bra because I'm like perky 14-year-old. I don't know.
No, she's like angry about it. She's like, "You pervert."
I did learn something very interesting, which I blew Tweetsy's mind with, because I don't know. Apparently, Hatsune Miku, he wrote her as having a crush on the third Vocaloid, that being Megurine Ruka, who apparently is like a slightly more like mature and like kind of sultry, classy sort of character. I don't know if that's true.
She was the tsundere back in the day.
Was she?
Yeah. She had a lot of songs about being like, sorry, continue.
And anyway, I blew his mind because the voice samples for Megurine Ruka were provided by Yu Asakawa, who is Juro's Japanese voice actress. So they would sound alike.
I didn't know that.
And Miku and Kagamine Rin should target her about how she sounds just like Megurine Ruka. I mean, I didn't know that for a while. Yu Asakawa has done a lot of stuff. She's like Rider Medusa in Fate, but it's a bunch of stuff that's not on my radar. But yeah, she sings. She did the voice samples for her. And I'm excited to see this project make a return. Any other thoughts on Kagamine Rin?
Keep at it. I think you've done a great job in like digging the foundation. You clearly have an understanding of Vocaloid, which I think is very exciting. So I'd really like to see where you continue to take her.
And as someone who knows next to nothing about the Vocaloid fandom, as a general character, I thought there was a lot of potential there. As Cali said, a lot of good foundation. Just need to try and smooth her out. Which I think is something Carbo can definitely do.
Okay. Well, Cali, your moment has come. We have collected all 120 power stars. We have made our way to the top of the castle, and now we face Gay Bowser himself and his minion Dwight.
My minion?
Why don't you tell us all about your latest project?
So Dwight
Fairfield from Dead by Daylight.
Dwight is one of the original 4 survivors from Dead by Daylight. He's supposed to be a nervous leader where he like unexpectedly rises to the challenge because he has a life of like running away and being shoved into lockers. So he's able to have leadership in this like really messed up world. He's like a dork, and like everything he does at least like before he got kidnapped and put where he is now, he always failed at it. He was like horribly average. No one liked him for no real reason. They just thought he was like a loser, and so he had like no friends. He really, like, everything that could go wrong would go wrong. His boss was awful to him. He had all these horrible jobs. He was a mall elf. He did pizza delivery. But now he's in this horrible world, but he finally has a chance to like prove himself and actually have friends. But he still is a little bit anxious and freaked out, I think. That's a little rundown of Dwight, I think.
So, I mean, what have you done with him? What do you want to have happen in the future?
I think I really missed out. I need to bring the leadership aspect into him way more, where show in like his personality that he has that in him. Because I think right now I really did great at showing how pathetic he is, but I think I need to kind of tone back that like kind of like cutesy shyness, because he's like a grown man, and really put more lines that show that even if it's unexpected, he does have that leadership like in him, and that like if people give him a chance, he can be a good leader and like take control if he needs to. Because right now he has like certain traits, but I think I went way too deep in like, I'm so embarrassed, no one likes me. I hope you don't hate me. Like, and I think it's not very fun to listen to if he's just like, I'm sorry, I hope you don't hate me. So I'd like to go through and kind of better showcase other aspects, but mainly the whole leadership part of him, rather than just him saying, I'm a leader here. Way better show it in his personality where someone can actually be like, okay, I can see how he was able to do this.
Okay. Nord, have you given Dwight a try?
I have. My notes are, oh my god, he's such a dysfunctional dork, and I can't fix him, but we can both be bad together. Going by what I know of Dwight, I think you've done a good job capturing that basic sort of, not basic, but like core personality of, forced into a bad situation that he was unprepared for, came out with leadership qualities. Not hinted as much in SPNatI yet, as you have said, but definitely I think there's a couple of hints of it here and there still. And he has that whole energy about him of, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's been working so far. But he's still on edge because he doesn't know how he's survived for so long. Which is an interesting angle for a character to have in a game like this. Other than that,
is he like Cheryl, where he like keeps thinking that it's all going to turn into another nightmare?
I think he doesn't want to let himself like fully, because he has to be used to like hiding and like being aware of his surroundings, because like there's a bunch of like stalker killers. So I don't think it's less like, this is all fake, I'm going to die here. It's more just like I need to stay on my toes no matter what and like stay sharp.
Okay. Sorry, Nord, you were saying?
I wanted to give shout outs to the unique thing you have him do during his forfeit sequence where he puts a finger up his bum. Well done. Masterfully executed. 10 out of 10.
You did, thank you.
That's not unique.
It is for guys.
Is it? I think H did that.
Did he?
I think so. I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes. You need like a custom pose to really sell it.
I think Callie's the only one that has actually mentioned it as like a point of pride. It is hard to kind of tell. Just because of
I have to use dialogue for it, really.
That should probably be a tag, honestly. Likes fingers in ass.
Easier for you to choose who to play with if it's applied to women.
I don't really care either way. Any other thoughts?
I have thoughts about his Christmas outfit, but we'll save that for the Christmas lightning round.
Apparently, it's canon.
Yes, use them all, elf.
Is that an unlockable
That's
costume?
I like how he didn't even get to be Santa. He had to be an elf.
It is in the game. I played it today, and I got my ass kicked in it. And he jingles when he walks, by the way.
Oh, okay. So it's like a debuff.
Well, I guess kind of, because if he's running, you can hear him jingling, because he has all his bells on him. Just like, fuck you. Fuck Dwight, you're worse now.
It kind of sucks that that Dead by Daylight has had all these crossover characters, because it's like, oh, this shy nerdy guy finally has a chance to prove himself and take charge, and then he ends up stuck in a game with fucking Leon Kennedy. This fucking supermodel looking ass just like chews through zombies for a living. Just can't win. I will say this
never have anything.
This is a win in SPNatI though, because I mean there's a lot of reasons. I have a lot of like general positive notes here. I wrote based custom hands. I know that couldn't have been easy.
Hated it.
But even for a guy like Dwight, he does not deserve to have little baby Kisuke hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure that takes a lot of effort, because I mean, what, you have to make them image imports, which means you have to like crop out all the hands you'll ever need.
Yeah.
Right? But it's worth it. It's worth it, and it looks good.
You.
He had a lot of he had a lot of realistic diction, which I think is something that a lot of characters kind of struggle with. A lot of characters are kind of written and they sound more like prose than like dialogue. They sound like they come out with like these very long, well constructed, eloquent sentences, and it doesn't sound like someone's talking. It sounds like something that was like poured over for a long time and like prepared ahead of time. It doesn't sound like someone's coming up with it on the spot. But he has a lot of stuttering and interjections and cutting himself off and changing topic, and it's very well done. And he feels like a person talking, which can be tough for some writers. And he had a lot of like show don't tell. He had a lot of like I wrote down as some like class or personality signifiers. Stuff where you kind of get to know him, where he's complaining about how he has to buy like a $30 tie just to work in his office, and stuff like that. That was just it was really nice, or felt kind of realistic, or just like, oof, feel for you, buddy. Whether it's his dad bod, which, hey, body positivity in SPNatI. Is he our first dad bod?
So technically, Wario is the other chubby male, but
Wario is fucking peak performance. I don't know what you're talking about.
But Dwight's the first meant for main roster, I think, chubby guy.
Yeah. But he's like skinny fat.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a bit of a gut, and hanging out. So there's that, and there's like, oh, was she looking at me? No, she wouldn't look at me. It's like, ooh, I'm sorry, buddy, poor bastard. A couple small things. His balls were really big, proportionally. I don't know if that's just a statement about how he rose to the occasion in Dead by Daylight, but his balls seemed kind of disproportionately big compared to the rest of them.
I thought they seemed.
Let's see, I
thought they seemed fine.
I'll pull that up.
I did not expect to hear that. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I mean, default Kisuke balls just suck anyway. But
they're ugly.
Very, very true.
Yeah, it's clearly not meant for dicks and balls. I mean, it's up too high for one thing. But strip poses, I listed those. They could be a little better because he kind of just does the thing where he reaches for his clothes and then they disappear. So those could be improved. It's tough. It's tough, but it's always worth the effort. Obviously, this is strip poker night at the inventory. And the last thing was, I know you make us custom hands. They can't be easy, but as long as you're making custom hands, you might as well improve the fist posing on his masturbation poses, because he does the thing where he's just got like the closed fist over his penis, and you can clearly see that the thumb is in front of it, and it just doesn't work.
Hey, Cali, can I give you a hand?
Here. No, I've been meaning to redo because it kind of looks like he's just pawing at it. It's really noticeable, I think. So I need to redo them.
It's a little detail that goes a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I think H.E. does that, for example, where he actually has the thumb wrap around. Here, let me bring that up. Boy, he's just constantly losing out to these other guys. Poor bastard.
He's used to it. It's okay.
Oh man, he's even playing with the head. Yeah, but I really liked him overall. I don't have too much negative to say. I think you did a really nice job. I mean, as far as your typecasting goes, you may have perfected it. But yeah, I mean, if you do something long enough, you should eventually get good at it. That's not always true. Just look at certain porn artists. But yeah, and I think you have a good conception of like where you want to go with them too, because I agreed with what you said, where the embarrassment is there, but the leadership qualities I think are kind of absent. But if you want to add those, I think that would make him the complete package.
He has hints of it, and you can explore it in targeted dialogue pretty easily. You can have him ask for advice or give advice that like you might not initially expect from him, given his usual demeanor. But then, he surprises with a bit of, insight and knowledge that he's gained from his terrible nightmare death games.
Yeah, there's a one with Nagatoro I quite liked, where she's trying to be mean to him, and he's like, "Well, what do you expect from me?" And she just kind of backs off, and it kind of shows that he can put his foot down.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear me laughing at that?
No.
Fucking shitty ass microphone. Anyway, yeah, that's funny. Everyone should target Nagatoro. Nagatoro's good.
She's very good.
Okay. Has Dwight ever expressed his feelings in poetry?
Oh my god, he'd get like killed. Everyone would hate him more.
Has he ever had to like read out an embarrassing poem in like 7th grade? Here's a character who has devoted her life to poetry. It's yet another fucking Fire Emblem character. Although honestly, it feels like it's been a long time since we've had one. I honestly wonder if Fire Emblem's time has passed. I mean, it's been a while since Three Houses came out. So, I mean, that was, I'd say, the last major sort of boom bust period for Fire Emblem. I think we might be in a bust period.
Oh, just wait until Fire Emblem Engage comes out.
Oh, is there a new one on the way?
There's a new one on the way.
Of course there is. But yeah, I mean, this character is actually not even from Three Houses. She's from Fates, I think.
Indeed.
Which is an even older time capsule of SPNatI popularity, because we had like Korin and Rinka and all that shit back when Fates was the newest game. This is I don't know if I gotta go into God damn it, I gotta look in the character editor. I don't know if this is Mitama or Mitama, but here she is. She's like apparently one of the possible children you can have with if you pair up some of your characters. She was like raised in this weird realm where you age faster, and she writes haiku, and she's generally just like a lazy little shit who waxes philosophical rather than do anything. But she's pretty sassy. And after all the Genshins and all the Pokemon and all that stuff, it's almost refreshing to see a Fire Emblem character. Never thought I'd say that, but they're not even the most numerous anymore. It's like I think Pokemon has finally overtaken them.
I believe with Caitlyn, Pokemon is back on top.
There was a point in time, a long time, where the only Pokemon characters in like main game was like Moon, and I don't even know, like some other like May and Moon, like old May and Moon. That was it. Old May and old Moon. Fuck, that was it. And now they have like 19 characters.
Mitama was.
But this is Mitama.
Mitama was a surprise to everybody because Hugh just did all the art and dialogue and then shipped her to testing one day without saying anything.
And he's not a new dev either.
No, he worked on Rosa in the past as well, and someone else, I think.
He's worked on a few different projects, but that's not coming to mind right now.
Mitama was raised in the hyperbolic time chamber baby dimension, as with all Fate's children. The child character of Azama, who is a aloof monk type character, and one that I never had in my army because I played Conquest, and Azama's from Birthright and Revelation, so I barely had a clue who Mitama was. But I want to say Hugh did a great job capturing her art style, because you could immediately tell she's a Fire Emblem Fates character. Like, if you're at least vaguely familiar with Fates, I think it's very apparent from the get-go, especially because Fates had the whole My Barracks system where you can invite characters up to talk to them, and they have like animated 2D sprites, which makes them some of the easiest characters to replicate the art from. But yeah, coming out of nowhere, Mitama hit the ground running. Really good job.
Well, she might be a little too lazy for that, but she hit the ground at a brisk walk.
And then laid down for a quick nap.
Quick nap. Wrote 15 haiku. Threw out 14 of them.
She has literally hundreds of haiku in the game already. I know this because I saw in the files that each one of them is tracked by a hidden case, so that it can track if you've seen each haiku uniquely. I think it's her whole thing is in Fates is that she speaks in a lot of haiku, so that's obviously it's something that's hard to replicate in English, because when you learn about haikus for the first time, you just see it as this really weird style of poetry that's super hard to conform to in English without like bending over backwards.
Dude, this is the exact rant I was gonna make. I posted it in the Discord. You're just stealing from me.
Probably. I wonder if he could slip in a couple of tanka as well, where it's 57577, although that might be too wordy for a single line of dialogue. Cali, what do you think of Mitama?
I was gonna say Cali was supposed to go first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How fucking dare you, dude? I think
known Mitama super fan, Cali.
Literally, I think. One thing I want to say before I forget, I am really thankful you have her haikus in a different color. If you did not have that, I would be reading like every line and being like, "Is this a haiku?"
Yes, thank you. That is such a good use of colored text.
It would throw me off. I'm so happy you have the color text for it. It's very small, but it definitely would have been something. I really enjoy her artwork. I think she's very, very cute, which, you know, her hair is fantastic. And I like a lot of her poses. The only one I kind of have some issue with is the writing pose, because it's a bit difficult to tell what she's doing. Yeah, I know she has a pen and she's holding a little, like, slip of paper, but I don't know, the paper is very small, and it just, like, didn't click in my brain that she was writing until, like, embarrassingly late. And I think the perspective of her holding the paper is a little difficult. I know you can't do, like, having her arm outstretched in Kisuke, but I think just some adjusting of the arms maybe could be a little bit helpful, maybe making the paper a bit bigger. I also have terrible eyes, but that's, like, the only pose I really have, like, any, like, some complaints with. I think her personality...
I would agree with that
Yeah.
complaint about the pose. I didn't know what she was doing at first. It's like, oh, she's writing a poem. Like, the paper is small and the pen is huge. So
Yeah.
it's like that meme about, like, the guy who's like you're trying to eat soup and your spoon is too big for the bowl. Yeah, I would agree
I think
with that.
that's how it is in her official art, though. Her sprites. So it is.
I think she's, like, I don't know. It might be worth it just for, like, the sake of communicating what she's doing. It's just, like, or just adjusting, kind of messing with the arm position a little bit more, because right now
It's
pretty
kind of like
awkward.
what I was saying with Dwight's custom hands and actually making it wrap around, because, like, she's not holding the pen properly. Is the thing. She's holding it. She's, like, gripping it with her entire hand, and, like, not actually holding it the way you hold a pen at the tip. Granted, I mean, there are a lot of people I've seen. I guess just typing has destroyed everyone's penmanship. There are literally, like, kids and, like, people our age that, like, I guess they just never learned how to hold a pen properly. It's like, I'm sorry, but you look like idiots when you just, like, grab a pen like a 5-year-old and just with your entire hand and drag it across the paper. I don't know. That's what she looks like, though. Fix her hand so it looks like she's holding it right.
I think with her personality, so I also did not play Birthright. I played Conquest, and my favorite was also a child character. But so I didn't know, like, super detailed about her. I read a little bit to try and get it. I think you have a very good I don't want to say very good idea, because you have a very good, just in general, like, understanding of how she acts, and you keep it very entertaining without, like, overdoing it and being like, she loves naps, he's only going to talk about naps. She has, like, good anecdotes, and she speaks about, like, things very naturally, where she's like, my father wants me to be an archer, but I really don't care. Like, the way she says it is, like, you can take meaning from a lot of the words and kind of understand a little better about her, and I think that's very good. She has, like, a very nice presence of, like, just at the table, and I really enjoy how she acts and how she reacts to things. Again, my main complaint is mainly just the writing pose is very awkward, but I mean, overall, I enjoy her writing a lot, and how she handles things. I think I got a very good understanding of what she's like and her motives and stuff like that from the games I played with her.
Nord, would you like to continue your piece?
No, because I said everything I wanted to say up front by accident.
Everything?
Okay, not everything. I think good job so far. Just needs to be more of it. I think getting the haikus, like, we've got quite literally hundreds of them already. I think that's quite a good approach to take, because it means you're not having to invent like 100 haikus to get her off of testing. Now you can focus on all the other aspects of her character, like primarily Like, I imagine he was going to add more haikus anyway, just as a part of writing her as a character. But in general, it did really well. It's clear Hugh has a good understanding of how Mitama would tick as a character, and is doing a good job translating that into SPNatI.
Okay, well, first of all, I'd very much like to apologize if it's actually pronounced Mitama. I gotta look in the character editor real quick.
They did use the pronunciation field.
Did they? What does it say?
Mitama.
Oh no, it is Mitama. I was right. Mitama. That's what it says. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and complete the rant that I claimed Nord stole from me. I'm not sure if he actually did or not, but I know I posted it before, which is, yeah. I feel like haiku in American schools. I don't know. Maybe it's the same in I guess UK schools. I feel like it's an example of like multicultural education, but surface level education, like multiculturalism gone wrong, because you learn what a haiku is, right? You learn it's a poem, but it's like a totally different poem to what Western poetry is like. It doesn't rhyme. It doesn't have any kind of like easy flowing meter, because English words are all stressed differently. So you just like kind of awkwardly count syllables, even though nobody cares about syllables in English. And then at the end, you have this really awkward, clunky poem that doesn't rhyme, and you're like, what the fuck was the point of this? This poem sucks ass. Japan sucks. I'm never watching anime. I will definitely never masturbate to Japanese cartoon characters. And then you learn about Japanese, and suddenly it fucking makes sense why it's syllables, because you literally just like can write any kind of kana or kanji, and each one, or at least most of them, are one fucking syllable. So suddenly it's really fucking easy to write a haiku because it's just 5, 7, 5 of them. Now it makes sense. But they never told you why it's like that in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you were going to say?
Yes, which makes me think I was accidentally stealing your entire rant. Which, it makes me wonder if things like iambic pentameter get translated well into other languages. Like do Japanese students have to learn about English?
Like a limerick?
Stuff? Yeah. The Japanese students learning English, they have to.
I think they take English classes.
They have to analyze Shakespeare.
But I think a lot of them don't really go that far with it. I think they take English classes, but it's kind of the way we take like Spanish classes, where they don't remember anything because they never speak it outside of that. I don't know. The average Japanese person probably gets exposed to a lot more English words than the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? We got to get a Japanese person on. We got to break into the Japanese market with SPNatI. The language barrier. It's just it's such a shame, you know. You got like speed running or like the FGC, where you know Japan gets in on the game. We don't have any Japanese developers. At best, we can like commission a Japanese artist on Twitter or whatever to draw the characters. And there was that 2chan thread one time. Anyway, yeah, I really like Mitama. Probably talk about her at some point. She's really good. Great use of colored text. Thank you for pointing out which lines are haiku and which aren't. She's sassy. She's sarcastic. She's kind of like Aichi. She's got that fatalistic tone where she's just like, whatever. We will all die one day.
And that's like a really grim. That's a really grim side effect.
We are sleeping to our destinies. We are unaware of the tragedies of this world. I described her as a cool customer. She's unflappable. She whatever happens, she just rolls with it. She even makes fun of that because first thing out of her mouth when she loses, just like, oh heavens me, oh a shrine maiden, strip poker, my purity. LOL, Lamau. Did you really think that I would come here and not know what I was doing? I'm about to get down and dirty on your ass.
I don't know if it's part of her character specifically, but I'm interpreting that sort of not quite fatalistic, but very like hiding a bit of gloom outlook as being a side effect of Fates' really weird like child system where literally as soon as you S rank support two characters, their child gets sent to the baby dimension for like 18 years so they can grow up instantly to become a child soldier with all the implications that implies.
They're just like they're basically just like birthed as adults soldiers.
It is awesome.
Just drafted into this war.
Fates is a decent game, but it's a case of Awakening saved the series by doing a bunch of stuff, and then Fates tried to copy everything people liked, but it did it in a slightly inferior way, like the child system, and like the desire for branching paths, which ended up being buy 3 copies of the game.
Oh, so it's a Pokemon game.
Yes.
So really we can call her a Pokemon character, and Pokemon's even more on top. Is she a version exclusive? Can you only get her in one version of Fates?
I mentioned this earlier. She's the child of Azama, and Azama is a birthright and apparently a revelation character. Birthright being the like stick with your family option, and revelation being the third route that's in between the two nations. Whereas I played Conquest, which was the stick with your adopted family route. And you just don't have access to Azama because, unlike future Fire Emblem games, there's very little chance to recruit the other side. By which I mean like 3 houses where you can just recruit everybody but the house lord and their follower.
Do you know why her hair is a different color in this GIF? Is it because she has different parents?
Yes, that's something Awakening and Fates did with child characters, is they take the hair color of the parent they aren't attached to. So in Awakening, the child characters were attached to their mother, and aside from Crom, who always has Lucina, and Lucina always has blue hair. Whereas in Fates, it's attached to the fathers most of the time, aside from like one major character, Azura?
Azura?
Azura, yeah. I forgot if it was Azure or Azura. It's Azura. But yeah. So she can have variable hair color, and pink is just the default.
This is a Pokemon character. That's just breeding.
Oh god.
That's just you take the species of the mother and the egg moves of the father.
Fire
But I must say, I really like her. She's got that sass. She's got that quick wit that I really enjoy. I mean, I'm a fan of shit like Tyrandot, where she's just like whatever. Fucking this fucking game, you're all pervs, I'll roll with it.
It's clear that Hugh had a lot of desire to make her specifically.
What?
It's clear that Hugh had a lot of like drive and desire to make Mitama specifically. Like he's clearly passionate about her.
Oh, that Hugh did. I thought you said you. It's like I didn't make her.
But no.
I was confused. But yeah, this is a really promising project. I don't know. The fact that I can't remember Hugh's other projects means that they probably didn't gel with me too well, but I really like this one. This was a very nice surprise. Just yet another Fire Emblem character. Oh, she's actually really neat. I like her. It's not to say I don't like other Fire Emblem characters. I like Leone. I like Petra.
The thing with Fire Emblem characters is if you're going to make one, you do have to understand that you can't just make a Fire Emblem character. You have to really go for what makes this character unique and appealing and like roll with that.
Yeah. I just have very little to criticize.
I'm sure Cali can back me up on this.
Yeah, Fire Emblem's interesting to write for it, which is weird. It's like a visual novel-esque game. So, I mean, you have a lot, but holy shit, dude!
They add like 30 new characters every game.
Okay, let's. This episode is starting to drag on. I think we keep missing the mines with those as we're throwing Gay Bowser around. So let's clean this up quick, and talk about. Let's briefly go over. Let's do a bit of a lightning round. Adora, the artist formerly known as She-Ra, is back yet again. Although unfortunately, her developer is having some computer troubles, like hardware troubles. Like apparently it was damaged during a move, so that's not good. But I fully believe that this character will be on main one day. She's got some promise. I think she always has. But apparently, like the She-Ra transformation has temporarily been removed. You two can briefly give your thoughts on her and what you think about the project, but try to keep it short.
Really, I think she's at her best. I really enjoyed when she would do like this really dorky flirting with other people at the table. I don't have any lines, like I didn't write them down, but I think she's at her best when she's like doing that. There's a few other times where she'll kind of be she'll just like say stuff and I don't really get the point of it. But I think she's at her best when she really is getting into the game. I really enjoyed that, and I think that something like that was not really present in her older writing. So I like more of that.
She has had another visual update that I've just posted. Looks more accurate to the show and general better expressiveness. I think it's good that the Adora transformation was removed from the main just because it seemed like EC was having trouble deciding when and how to use it and was like getting a lot of conflicting input, and so it's for the best to like relegate it to a costume instead of putting it in the main file and just making it 10 times harder to make Adora essentially.
Okay. Also returning to testing. I thought Thine Royal Peasant was dead. Apparently they're not, because Blake from Ruby, her remake is also not dead. She's alive. Here she is. She's a faunus. God, I always forget that the Rubies exist because they used to just be part of. They used to be like one of the main draws of SPNatI in like 2017, and they received a ton of development time, and then they just like died one by one, and then they got reworks, and those died, and now they're just stuck in like incomplete hell. What do you two think, Callie?
She has a fair amount of lines where she'll like think something like flirty, and then she'll be like, "No, I can't say that," and it gets a little old. I think she's best when she's like trying to better talk to the people at the table. She has a lot of like these internal thoughts, but they're not like her just thinking to herself. It's her thinking about what to say, and it's kind of like, Blake, just say it. Which I know she's shy, but like maybe
just
she can think of something else, or like just say something maybe a little less blunt. She also has a lot of, maybe I was unlucky, but she would just like say ... and look at her book like a lot when I played with her. And like they don't have
Hey man,
talk.
do you have a problem with people with girls saying ... Huh?
It's
Is that what you're
fine,
telling me?
If it happens too often, you just kind of like, okay, and you kind of check over at their side a little less often. Because she did it a lot for me. I don't, but that's my main thing. Is I think she should more like put herself out there and be like,
Yeah.
even if it's a shy, like clunky way, and not like the sex talk in her head. I think it's much better than just her like sitting there just thinking to herself.
I think whenever you, like in general, if someone uses ellipsis in place of a line, I would always say put a play once marker on it so that they don't keep saying that. It can really
I
stand
disagree.
out.
I put it everywhere. Almost every case Maya has a ... line in there.
I'm not backing down. You should put a play once marker on all of those.
But she doesn't talk that much. You need to show that she doesn't talk a lot.
Baker.
I think I agree with Cali.
Listen, I already get enough shit about how she has 20,000 lines. She isn't. She talks a lot, even though that's the dumbest shit ever. It literally just means she doesn't repeat herself. I need to show that she's quiet. The character with most lines in the game has the quiet tag. I need to show that.
Okay, you do you. With Blake, I would agree that
Do you not like it when a girl just gives you the stone face?
No.
No?
No.
That gets me rock hard.
What you want me to say?
I'm hard right now.
Okay, Cali, what if Dwight said ... to you with a blank face?
Or spray him in the face with water. You'll say something.
With Blake, I agree that she could do with more instances where if she's going to think about saying something, then maybe there could be a follow-up case where she does say it, but she says it in a more awkward way than she did in her head, or in a way that's like very cut down from the more verbose way she had planned. Blake, from what I remember from my time when I was a Ruby fan, she's stoic and she's awkward. She's not a social disaster, but she's very slow to open up to people. And I think it would be good if over the course of the game she opened up more and more. Like peeling back the layers to see what she's really about.
You ever do that thing where like you think one thing and then you think of saying something else and then you just blurt it out and that ends up being a combination of the two?
Yeah, when you hit someone and you want to say "oh fuck" and "I'm so sorry," but you say "are you fucking sorry?"
Oh god. Blake should just do that sometimes. If you're gonna have follow-up cases, she's shy.
Are you fucking sorry?
She just flubs words. I have no idea. She probably doesn't do that in Ruby. Moving on. It's the lightning round. We have a Lyralei. She predates the character editor pronunciation guide. I don't know if she's in there, but it's a character from Dota, I believe, who was gone for a while, and that was a real shame because it felt like she was always like really close to the end, and I think she might have even been in sponsorship, and she just like didn't cross the finish line. I almost thought she was in main game, and then I realized one day she was just gone. I was like, what the fuck? I thought she made it, but she's back. I always thought she showed a decent amount of promise. I mean, she's just fun. You know, everyone loves redheaded forest sprites bounding through the trees. What do you think, Cali?
So I'm sorry in advance because this is kind of a big thing. I don't mind that she uses a toy for her forfeit, but the fact that it's wooden like hurts to watch as someone with her anatomy. It's like I really it's yeah, I
fucking splinters.
Well, like even if it's carved, it's gonna be like really hard, and she doesn't have a lubricant, and it's like, oh my god, girl, you're fucking crazy. Which like maybe it works.
How fucking hard would you have to sand that thing to make sure before you stuck it?
And I feel bad. I know she's like mythological or like medieval, like one of that genre of games where it's like, but and she's so far along. But I really I loved playing with her. I really liked her personality, but that like hurt. And I feel like it's a big thing. So I apologize because I know she's like been on testing for like a while. She's gotten a lot of feedback, but that's my huge thing is I really, really don't like that she uses a wooden toy. I really wish it was like silicone or something else, just softer and not nearly, because it like I can't watch it, man.
Is it all custom? Okay, yeah.
Jump scare, dude.
That doesn't look smooth enough. That looks like there's a sharp edge at where the head is.
It would hurt.
You know how that gets. You know, like sharp edges on wood, the fucking corners. Ugh.
It needs to be veneered.
You gotta. I would spend hours in the shop sanding that thing down.
It needs a good polishing.
Nice wood grain. Some like cleaner.
It doesn't matter how smooth it is. It's so hard. You're gonna get hurt no matter what because it can't like bend with you. It's gonna just hurt. I'm sorry. It's too much information, but that's my only complaint. I really enjoyed her. I've played with her before.
I mean, that's still probably better than like the balloon that fucking Pinky shoves up.
That, oh my god. I love you, everyone here.
And then it pops inside of her. Fucking toxic
but, like,
shock
holy
syndrome.
shit. Some of you guys have not had vaginas and it shows.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a vagina, but even I can be like, dude, that's not fucking good. That's like an emergency room visit. A very awkward one.
Not to sound too harsh, that's my main complaint. I really enjoy posing and her artwork and all this amazing custom work you did, but that's really the biggest thing. And in my brain, it is kind of a big thing. Not that I'm like gonna stop playing with her, but it's just like,
I don't begrudge you at all. It's a totally big thing. It's her fucking forfeit. Like, it's supposed to be good, and it's horrifying. It's totally distracting, and toys suck, man. Fuck toys.
From a technical standpoint, I also find it a bit awkward that like she keeps deciding to use it and then not using it for a few lines and then using it again, and it constantly removes and reapplies the tag, and it's just much more annoying to like. It's something you could target but you don't want to because of how awkward it is, and it feels like a lack of direction, like the inability to like decide one or the other. Pick one, and preferably pick the one that doesn't use an object. In general, though, because she's already been on testing for a while and is, I think, going moving towards sponsorship goals, I don't think it's too late to address concerns or complaints about using this toy. But
I would just get rid of it, man. Just dump it. It's not worth the distraction.
I would also say get rid of it, but if you're not going to get rid of it, use something else that isn't made of wood.
Use like silicone. It doesn't matter if it was time accurate.
It used to be like an arrow-shaped toy.
Stop! I'm
Why? Why?
Shoulders,
I just don't understand.
they're like up to my ears.
What is
people hurt me?
What is this obsession with? I don't know. I feel like people read like anatomy books when they're like, I don't know, 8 years old, and it's like penis and vagina, and it's like that's the only thing sex can ever be. You look at lesbians, and it's just like strap-ons, and that's it. And it's like they don't even know what else to do.
The thing is, like, even with like normal silicone stuff, like with people who use them, you have like all these things you have to get to like keep it clean and like make sure you use it correctly and stuff like that. And then it's like SPNatI, and it's like balloons and wood, and it's like, holy shit, these poor girls. That's not to be too mean. I'm sorry. It really is like my only thing, but it is kind of a big thing.
So when's Dwight gonna take like an axe handle from Dead by Daylight and shove it up his ass?
Never. I think he'd rather die.
Okay.
I do have something positive to say real quick, which is just she has a lot of called out situations, and at first I was shocked, but she has like 50 of them. But then when I started like looking through them, there's a lot of fun stuff to target with Lyralei.
Yeah, like we've been so negative because of this, like really, it's really distracting, like get rid of it. But like most of the characters are actually really good.
Yeah.
I really enjoy her. She has a great personality and just like a great presence, in my opinion.
She just does not stick the landing.
It's just that. It's like, oh, please, let me help you. Please, you gotta stop. Please.
Okay. Even that went a little long, so now we are doing the super, super short, ultra fast, lightning round Christmas alts because this is already coming out in January. Do you really want to talk about the Christmas alts fucking in March?
We're recording this before the event on December 25th. Not the Christmas one, the other event. You know the one that hasn't happened yet.
So let's go right in order. We can talk about the older ones a little bit later if you want, but I'm talking literally like a couple seconds here. Mari Setogaya. I mean, they're all the same anyway. They just dress up like Santa. Mari Setogaya. What do you think, Nord?
Great alt. Cat form has some good touches that make me prefer it. Overall, Mari always has great, well thought out alt costumes.
I think it's too simple. I'm not a big fan of it.
Damn. Okay.
Sorry.
Barbara, Cali, what do you think?
I really like the detailing on her sleeves and how they move. I think they did a very good job with how it looks, and the dialogue's very sweet.
Nord?
Good details. Just in general, Barbara has some really good costumes, Barbara's second costume keeps the high standard of quality. Good to see. It's what you want out of a Christmas dress.
Sorry. Fuck, there's like these people have too many goddamn costumes. Gloria.
Cali?
Cali, yeah.
I like the touches of
Sorry,
green on her
I
and
need
the
to
little
update my
ribbons.
get again.
I think the little details help make it stand out in like the sea of Santa dresses, but that's my main thing. I like the little details on it. I think it's very cute, and I like how it meshes with her personality.
If either of you have these costumes on your computers, please post them because I need to update my get. I've been caught unprepared for once. Also, Nord, what do you think of Gloria? Oh yeah, I guess you made Gloria's, didn't you?
I made Gloria. I'm okay with this outfit. I think if I was tempted at the last minute to redo it in a different way, but I'm fine with how it is. I had fun making the ribbon stages, or like when the dress is off.
Okay, Cagliostro.
I think.
By the way, these are all characters that just have like a million fucking alts. I don't know what it is, but there's this new fad of characters that just like they're going all in on alt skins and doing something for every event. I mean, it's content. Anyway, go ahead, Callie.
I think it's a canon design. I think it's a little busy, but that's not like a huge complaint. She looks adorable, and all the details are like insane. So I think you did a very good job on that one. Bias.
I think it's a really cute outfit. The striped sweater / dress, interesting choice. Makes her angry poses look a bit funny because like she's angry while wearing a really cute thing.
Speaking of ribbed sweaters, Yastola, Callie. You like cats?
I love the detailing on her sleeves because I know that had to have been like such a bitch to do, but it really adds a lot, and I think her alt is very beautiful.
I agree. Really cute outfit. Striped sweater works well. Shows off the power of pipelines, and if it's a canon design, even better.
Critical Darling, which I think is the only one that's not dressed up as Santa or an elf.
Two options. I enjoy that it's like a winter theme, and even though she's wearing a dress, it's not like a Santa dress. It stands out very nicely, I think, and it's very her, which I enjoy that.
Yeah, it's a cool outfit, pun intended. It stands out because it's not a shade of red. Good choice for a winter rock star look.
I feel a little ashamed because I want to make a Jura Christmas alt, which is just the Santa suit that you see her wearing here, which is apparently some promotional art done by a guest artist. You never see her wearing it in the show. She just has this promo art of her wearing it, which I'm fine with doing. But yeah, it's one amongst a sea of Santa suits, and she might feel a little annoyed because I don't think she's used to sharing an outfit. She's not used to twinning. And last but not least, Dwelf. Callie, can you tell us the grand tale of Dwelf?
So
How he
Dwelf
slid into home.
Dwelf was submitted at Daylight because I couldn't do it. But he's like a weird. He runs in December. Dead by Daylight has Dwight run the Twitter, and he's Dwelf. So I had to put him in. And he was fun to write for because he fucking hates Christmas. So I just got to make him complain, and it was fun. That's my main thing.
I really like this department store mall elf look. Very fitting for his whole character. And I think you did a great job with it.
Thank
I
you.
like the little elf shoes, with just leaves on its feet.
Made from hearts.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hearts always come in clutch. You think hearts don't have a use, and it's like, ooh, I can use a curve or a point. Yeah. I was gonna say, Dwight seems like a pretty cool guy. We could be friends. I feel for him. But then you said he hates Christmas. It's like, fuck this guy.
That's what retail does to you, I think. He's had so many retail jobs, he has to hate it at that point.
I guess so. Don't be a Grinch, Dwight, okay? Everyone loves Christmas. Nor, did you want to talk about the older costumes a little? I don't know.
I just want to briefly go over some of the older costumes. I want to say it's really hard to make outfits for the Christmas event if you don't have a canon one to work with for your character, because it's really hard to be unique, especially because the colors of the season are primary red, secondary white and green. I think ones like Jessie, Critical Darling, and even Noelle, just for doing something that isn't a Santa dress, are pretty good, just for that factor alone. Others, it's it's hard to give a compliment to a red Santa dress that you couldn't give to any other character wearing a red Santa dress. Like Rosa, Bernadetta, Estelle, Miku, they're all vaguely wearing similar things. And I think it's just a matter of use this as an opportunity to do something different with what they're wearing underneath the Christmas outfit, and also give them, holiday dialogue. All the outfits we have for the event, pretty darn good.
Okay,
it's just hard to be creative.
Yes, Santa dresses, but consider Jura has big titties.
Approved.
And also booty shorts. Santa booty shorts. This is my avatar right now, by the way.
That's not even like a Santa dress. It's like a Santa bunny suit without the ears.
Sexy Santa?
You should make that, though. Whenever you rework Jura, give her that outfit.
What do you mean whenever? She's up next, dude. I'm almost done with Maya.
No, that's what I meant by when you do.
All right. Well, that was a mouthful. That was a lot. This was supposed to be a shorter episode, and it ended up going long. But that meant we had a lot to say about each testing character. So I'd say it's a good thing. I would like to thank Cali for coming on. You've been a very wonderful guest. I'd like to thank Nord for filling in as co-host, because Namasp has the actual responsibilities. He doesn't just he actually has a salary. He doesn't just jerk off all day. So sometimes he gets slammed in the holiday season. He was trapped in the paintings. Do either of you have some final comments?
I'm taking a moment to think of my final comment so I don't look like a fool. Solitaire.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Cut this part out.
Cut out the awkward silence. Make it look like he knew immediately what to say.
Happy Kingfield the Winter Week.
Also, sorry about the long editing job.
Yeah. In general, we're still in sort of a renaissance period where people are either making great solo projects or making great group projects. And in general, everyone should just keep up the good work. Never be afraid to ask for advice or input about any part of your characters. And this is probably very late, but I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, etc. I hope the event didn't end things as soon as 2023 started.
Do you leave your Christmas decorations up in January?
We take them down week of January 1st.
What about you, Cali?
I don't put up Christmas decorations.
I just meant, what are your final comments? Yeah, get money, make money, 2K.
I'm gay and I dip people in acid. That's my final comment.
Okay.
He's gay and he dips people in acid.
I'm bringing it back.
Okay, everyone. Well, let's show some cake for Mario here, because it may be hard for you to remember, but if you've ever taken a look into online, we do in fact have a Princess Peach. Here she is. Check out that custom hair. You can see the
holy
leaf.
shit.
She has one belt, a singular belt. Oh, I guess she has the brooch. Those are some belts. She's got the wide stance. I don't think she literally does not move her legs at all. I don't think they move from that position.
I think Sonic Joey made a new Peach and is eventually intending to rework her.
That would be nice. I would like a Peach. We may have overcorrected on the head size. But out of all the tens of thousands of Rule 34 images Princess Peach has that are on the internet, SPNatI's is definitely one of them.
It sure is.
So thank you, everyone, for coming on to Super SPNatI 64 and then reaching the credits an episode in Super SPNatI 65. Your 100 lives from the top of the castle from Yoshi will be delivered to your house via carrier pigeon in just a moment. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Nord. Thank you, Cali. And thank you once again for listening to our podcast. I'm done with this joke now.